What's going on, guys? MedicOnDuty is my name, and today I have some more Battlefield 3 gameplay for you. I'm using the Medic class, and I'm playing some Conquest on the map Sen Crossing. This is actually, I think, one of the best games I've had so far, not just on this map, not just in Conquest, but in Battlefield 3, essentially altogether. I go 16-4 on this map, and I actually end up as the MVP, which is quite an accomplishment. I think that maybe happened. I don't think that ever happened once in Bad Company 2, although I think I once got second highest, and that was because you lost, so I didn't get anything for that. So, I don't think that happened in Battlefield 2 either. So this is kind of, I think, almost like a first. And for the actual class, I am using the Medic class. I'm running around with, I believe it's the M1911 silenced, the defibrillator, and the med pack, and finally for my primary, the AK-74M with the foregrip attachment because less recoil is always better, and finally the tactical light, which, looking back on it, I kind of feel like a douche for using because the tactical light, my honest opinion, I think it's completely overpowered. It's one of the most unfair things I think in the game, and because literally you can just be you can run up to someone, and they'll suddenly just pull out their gun, and they have a tactical light, and suddenly it's just like, oh my god, I can't see them anymore, and then just, you're dead. I mean, there's nothing really fair about it. I mean, like, I guess from close range, it's I guess, a little bit more balanced, but when someone can do that to you from 20 feet out, that really isn't all that fair. Although, I did hear that they were going to patch it, which would definitely be nice, because it frankly needs to be patched because it just isn't fair. If you run around a corner and someone's like 30 feet away from you with a tactical light, and suddenly all your sight are belong to them. So anyway, I wanted to take this video to talk more in depth about what I think about what DICE has done with the classes in Battlefield 3, because I did mention them a little bit in my previous video, but I wanted to get more in depth about them this particular time around, because I think that there's a lot of good changes that they've made, and I think that probably the way they're set up right now, they're probably some of the best classes that at least in my best I simply mean most balanced that DICE has come up with. And to start, I guess we'll just go down the list from bigger changes to smaller changes. So, first one, if you remember the classes from Bad Company 2, you had, if you remember the Assault class and the Medic class, the Assault class was kind of like the, he was the main, I guess, linchpin of the force. He was the soldier type. He had the assault rifle, the grenade launcher, the ammo crate, and then the Medic had a light machine gun, the defibrillator, the med pack, that kind of stuff. And now, before I go on, I'm not dissing the classes at all in Bad Company 2. I think they worked fine, but there were a few things I think that they didn't quite do so well. I mean, just to go on the Medic class, if you think about it, in all intents and purposes, light machine guns are suppressive roles. They're designed to hang back slightly. They're not very mobile weapons. They're designed primarily to make a lot of noise and to shoot a lot of bullets and hope they hit somebody. And that kind of unfairly divided the Medic class, because if you think about it, the Medic is really supposed to be a frontline role, frontline soldier. He's supposed to be up in front of it, up with his teammates, reviving them if they die, throwing down the med bag if they need it, and really putting the light machine gun on that class unfairly divided the class. I mean, you could stand back, you can hold back and support your guys as they rush, but then you can't be up front with them, reviving them and healing them, which is what you really need to do. Or you could be up front reviving and healing them and end up losing a lot to guys with assault rifles and submachine guns because they very clearly overpower light machine guns at close range. So what they did in Battlefield 3 is that they merged the two classes together, mixed them up, and drew them apart again. So now you have the new Medic class and the Support class. Now the Medic class now has the Assault class. Now it has the Assault class's assault rifle, and it still has the med bag and the defibrillator, which is really nice because it allows you to really fulfill that frontline role where you really need to be if you want to at the same time kill and prevent. So if you want to spread lots of death and prevent death on your side. And it also has the grenade launcher, but I haven't seen a lot of people using the grenade launcher because it's a completely separate attachment this time around. And to equip it, you need to sacrifice your med bag for it, which, if in a pinch, the med bag really makes the medic a lot easier because if you get shot, you can just drop behind cover, throw out your med bag, and it'll just heal you. It's like I've only seen like a few guys use it, and I personally have never used it because I value my med bag too much. But I think because of the medic being a lot better now, being more of a frontline role, it's nice to see a lot of people have been using it, and it's nice to see people using that. It's nice for me because the medic is my favorite class from Battlefield. It's nice to finally have a medic class that actually is quite formidable this time around. Not to say the support isn't, but actually we'll get to that right now. Now the the support class, like I said, pretty much got everything that the medic class didn't. It now has the light machine gun. It now has the ammo crate, which is actually kind of nice because it allows that role to be fulfilled more. I mean, like you can still be close to your team and support them and throw out the ammunition bags and stuff like that, which are actually, I think, one of the greatest underestimate. That is one of the reasons people really underestimate the support class, is just how many points you can earn simply off resupplying. Because if you think about it, guys are always going to be shooting, so they'll always need ammo, and so throwing out an ammo bag is a really nice way to stop that. I remember there was one time I spawned in a squad, spawned in a group of guys, just threw down an ammo bag almost instantly, and within like 2 seconds I'd gotten the resupply ribbon, which is, I think it's like 5 or 6 resupplies you need in order to get that. So it just proves just how much points you can earn off the support class. And I also really like what they've done with the light machine guns for the support class, because now it really helps the support class essentially evolve into a more suppressive role. Because you can fire a light machine gun from the hip or while moving, but they're not going to be terribly accurate. But what they can do is that all light machine guns come by default with a bipod. So if you're near a wall, or if you're prone on the ground, and you just tap the aim down sight button, PC it's right mouse, Xbox it's left mouse, PS3 I believe is left is L1. So just by tapping that, your guy, if he's in a place where he can, he'll just set up a bipod, and it makes it a lot more accurate. The shots the grouping of the shots is a lot more consistent, and if you get in a really good spot where you can just stay in an area and just suppress people as they come out, because one thing that being suppressed does to you is it kind of like makes the edges of your screen go blurry, and it's very hard. Your hearing kind of gets affected too, so it's very hard to react, I find, when someone is suppressed. So it's also some sense has its steamroll. So because if you can suppress someone, their hearing's going to be affected, their vision's going to be affected, so they won't have a lot of time to react when your team actually comes around and starts tearing into them. And well, that's really it for the support class. I really like what they've done with that. The engineer class, moving on, they haven't changed a lot with that from what I've encountered so far. Because one thing that I just want to get out of the way real quick is that I haven't progressed really far with the classes. I mean, for the medic, I've unlocked the defibrillator and stuff, but for the engineer, I believe I just unlocked the EOD bot, and for support, I think I'm just about to unlock the mortar, which I think, and for the recon, I think I'm just about to unlock the soft lamb. So that I think probably one shows just how little I played the other classes because I play the medic so much. Although I have been playing the medic more, but that just shows how, in a sense, little I've fully managed to dig into the classes because there's just so much to do, so much to unlock. Engineer, right back to the engineer, it hasn't changed too much, I feel, from Bad Company 2. It's still the same setup, although you now have, instead of rocket launch, you can opt out to have like a kind of a Strela thing, where you can use it to lock onto and shoot down aircraft, which is really, really, really nice. I personally have had a few really satisfactory moments for it. One in particular where I shot at a helicopter, disabled it. As it's going down, I see the guys bail out. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll get 200 points for destroying a vehicle. But suddenly, 3 kills pop up, and they're all road kills. So what I think happened, and I really don't know, and I really don't know if this is actually what happened because I wasn't recording it, and I can't go back and check. Because what I think happened is when they bailed out, the helicopter fell on them and crushed them, and then because I shot down the helicopter, it gave me the kills, which is really sweet. And I've never had that happen again. So, rats. But moving on. I haven't tried out the EOD bot yet, but the EOD bot kind of looks a little pathetic. I mean, you can sure you can like repair tanks and stuff and vehicles from a distance, and you can like disarm MCOMs with it, but it really looks kind of pointless. And I think it takes up your repair tool, and I'd rather have the repair tool as opposed to the EOD bot. But the engineer hasn't changed really all that much, which isn't really a bad thing because the engineer didn't have a lot wrong with it to begin with. So it's nice that that DICE didn't fix the things, didn't change the things that weren't broken. Now the recon's, like I said, it's not really all that different. The big change I can think of on it is that they've added almost like a mobile spawn point, which is kind of like the tactical insertion from Call of Duty, only you can't specifically spawn on it, but the rest of your squad can, which is really useful. So you can just like put it someplace safe while your squad spawns on it, and you can just murder people as they try to come at your squad. Which is really neat. And also you could do stuff like you could, if you're gonna hang back and snipe, you can put it up close, then run back and snipe from a distance, that kind of thing. So it's I really like most of the changes they've made so far, and another thing they did is that they changed up a lot of the. They changed one more thing on the recon class, and that was just that they changed the motion mines, which in Battlefield Bad Company 2 were stuff that you kind of threw like grenades, and they kind of landed in place and revealed the position of enemies that they were near to. But now now the motion sensor in Battlefield 3 is a lot like the motion sensor from Black Ops. You just go to one location, plunk it down, and it reveals essentially everyone in a nearby radius. So I know it's kind of useful. I just never use it, and I think I probably will stop using it once I unlock the soft lamb. But that's in general what I think about the classes. I think that in Bad Company, not Bad Company, wrong game. Battlefield 3, I think in Battlefield 3 that they're working a lot better, and also I also kind of like what they're doing with the perk system now. I mean, they kind of rearranged the perk system because they made it less about the players, and so they kind of like took it away from Call of Duty, and there's no equivalent of stopping power in this game in Battlefield 3 now, like there was in Bad Company 2. It's there are less perks essentially per. You can now only equip one perk to your one specialization to your actual foot soldier, and the rest of the perks go to your vehicles and stuff. So you can not only customize the your perks by your specializations by vehicle category, so you can apply a different specialization to your light tank, to your tank, than you will to your armored infantry, to your APC, to your IFV, to your attack helicopter. So you can now instead of having just like to switch out your perks every time you want to like try a different vehicle, you can now just set your perks and just leave them like that. And you can also set up to 3 different perks per vehicle. Like you can it's like 3 different categories. There's like a main attachment, like a gadget, and then a weapon attachment. So the way I have it on my tank right now, I'm using the IR smoke and the coaxial, I think that's how you pronounce that, minigun. So it's a really nice combination, and I really like what DICE did with that, because it really makes the vehicles a lot more customizable, a lot more in depth than they were in Bad Company 2. And finally, onto the weapon customization, which if you played Medal of Honor, it's very similar. You have up to 3 attachments you can put on your weapon: an optical attachment, a primary attachment, and a secondary attachment. Optical attachments are pretty much, well, they're spoken for. You got red dot sight, ACOG sight, holographic sights, and you also interestingly have thermal sights this time around, which I haven't unlocked for any of my guns yet because they take a lot of kills to get. And what else? But primary attachments are stuff like or more like underbarrel attachments. So like an underslug. So like you can put a rail on it, which like lets you put, I guess, the grenade launcher directly on your like assault rifle and stuff. Or you could also put a foregrip on it, or a laser sight. And then you have stuff that you can put directly on the muzzle of your gun. So like a flash suppressor, a heavy barrel, or a tactical light. Which, like I said before, I'm really glad that they nerfed. So I actually like the weapon customization in Battlefield 3 a lot more, because it brings a lot of the emphasis off the perks and more onto the weapon, and it really leaves a lot more that you can do with your weapons, which is really nice. And I just like being able to customize out, to check out my classes more than and the guns more than I could in previous games. So those are pretty much the classes that as I've seen them so far. I haven't really encountered any major balance issues with them yet. They seem pretty clear cut for their roles, and that's always good. When games at least are balanced, seemingly from the very beginning. So anyway, guys, those are just my thoughts. If you could please leave your own thoughts down in the comment section below, that'd be really interesting, because I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing what you have to say about certain stuff, whatever it may be. And even if I disagree with you, I still like to hear your opinion anyway. So essentially leave what you think about the classes. If you think that they're balanced, if you think that they're not balanced, essentially just what do you think and why. And finally, if you're new to my channel, this is the first one of my videos that you're watching, if you could click the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, so that you can be notified when I post future content, that'd be really cool. And apart from that, guys, it's a great day outside for me, but I hope you have a good day wherever you are. Take care.